Is your website bringing you sales or just creating a headache? If you are a maker who started out selling at vendor events, craft shows, and farmers markets, chances are that selling online feels like a struggle and a completely different beast. When in reality, oftentimes that is the best avenue for you to see continued growth. As a maker in a product business, you are currently limited by the opportunities and the time that you have to sell in person. And if you are able to make the shift to generating sales online, that is where the ability to grow and expand your business comes from. But if you are used to selling in person and selling at these vendor events, selling online, it can be a completely different beast. The understanding and knowledge of e-commerce can feel overwhelming. Maybe you've sold some on social media, but your website is sitting there not generating anything. And rather than helping you grow, it is stressing you out. Now, there are ways to make it so that your website is an easier tool to help you grow. And so today what I want to do is I want to take a look at a website of a local business who is doing a really great job of building her online presence. And while it is not her primary sales avenue yet, she's doing some really great things. So we're going to take a look and discuss what she's doing well. And then we're also going to look at some of the areas where she could probably improve her website to increase that brand visibility and those sales. So today we're going to look at Chienne Pawtisserie. She is a dog treat maker in Lewisburg. We're going to look at her website and analyze what she's doing right and opportunities for her to continue improving. So let's take a look. Okay, so let's open up Chienne Pawtisserie's website. So to get started, I accidentally, before pulling this up, closed out of her email pop-up. So the very first thing you usually will see when you get to her website is that she has a pop-up for you to join her email list. And so it offers up 10% off if your first order if you sign up for her email list. And I love this pop-up because it incentivizes people to join her email list. And our ultimate goal when selling online or in person is to get as much information as possible. And so this does a great job because whether or not they buy today, we now have their contact information to reach out to them and get them to buy later. And that 10% off gives them a little bit of kick to do it now. So, of course, unfortunately, I closed it out. I don't know how to get it back up again. You're just going to kind of have to take my word on that. Now, the next thing we want to take a look at is just the initial view when you come in. So for me, first things first, this white space header is very, very large, and that's because of her logo. I would shrink that logo. I'd make it about half as big as it is almost because it's creating this giant white space. And what's happening is it's pushing a lot more content below the fold, which is when you have to start scrolling. And we lose people. There are people who will click here and they will not scroll. So can we shrink that to get rid of some of that white space so they get a little bit more information on that first view of the page without having to scroll? Now, aside from that though, that menu bar is great. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. Homepage, shop, about, or contact. That is great. We want to keep it simple. We don't want it to be overwhelming. Now, the other thing is she does have her social media links over there on the right. I would probably move those to the bottom of her website because we want to keep people on the website and buying. And those social media links are, they're going to take people off the site. Are they going to click on them? Most likely not, but we don't want to make that a likelihood. Now, she does have at the top a hero bar, free shipping on orders $49 or more, which is great. And free shipping thresholds are a huge marketing and sales tool. And so if you have not started using a shipping threshold for your online shop, I definitely recommend taking a look into adding that on. And I have another video on the value and the benefits of having a shipping threshold, so definitely go check that out. But she does a great job with highlighting it there. Now, the next thing you'll notice is that this hero bar, these images here, they keep changing, right? Now it's Treats We Love. It had bestsellers. Yep, there we go. It has her fall collection. Now, this is nice and all, but what happens is this is a lot of data and it uses a lot of loading time and all of that switching back and forth. And so that can actually hurt your website's performance. And when your website has a slow performance, it hurts you in Google and search engines. And so what I recommend is setting your hero to a static image based on what you're trying to promote right now. So for her, I would encourage her to focus on that fall collections hero because that's what she's selling right now. It is time limited. It is not that many. It's only for 2 months, right? This right here. I would have it stay on that because that's what we want to drive people to buy. Now the next thing, we scroll down, we have a welcome, and again, shop new products. Awesome. Again, we want to drive people to buy. This is great. Oh, sorry. The next thing, this is my favorite thing on her homepage. It immediately goes into her bestsellers. And she has her aesthetic honed in, right? These pictures are high quality. These pictures feel like luxury. These foods feel like all natural, organic, high-end dog treats. And you can get that from this image. And by having this right here, I may go from someone who's like looking at dog treats and maybe thinking of buying them to, excuse me, all of a sudden I look at this and I'm like, I need those peanut butter and jelly biscuits for my dog. They look amazing, right? So this is a really great use of your homepage just to highlight, again, your best sellers. There's a reason people buy them. So let's get them out there. Join the VIP list. So this is where that email pop-up comes in, right? So I closed out my email pop-up because I was like, whatever, I don't need it. But then I see those best sellers and I'm like, oh, I want to get some of this for my dog. I can join the VIP list, but I don't get that discount anymore. And so for me, I don't like to limit the benefit of joining, right? Like it's not real scarcity. You should still give them the 10%. So I would re-offer the 10% here. Join my VIP list for 10% off your first order. Get their email address, right? Let's continue to give them an opportunity to buy and build goodwill. Now she has her collections here, and this, again, very on brand. She has their aesthetic honed in, the black and white, very luxurious, very high-end feel. Does a great job with this. The only thing I would change here is if you look at the subheader for each category, some of them say let's go, some of them say I'm in. I would change them all to say let's go. I'm in implies a membership or a subscription. Let's go is more of a let's go check it out and get shopping. Such a minor language thing, but I would change that. Next, we've got a little bit of an about us and a direct link to, because this line is one sentence. I would maybe put 2 sentences here just for a little bit more of, hey, welcome from Joe and Storm, who's the dog, which you find out on the about us page. Just a little more context here. Who's this dog? Right? I don't know. And then down here, again, we have our bestseller collection. So that's another reason why I'm like, let's make the hero static. We've got this down here for the bestsellers. It looks amazing. It looks compelling. I don't think we need to repeat it up the site. And then finally, we've got some customer testimonials. Again, amazing. Love the social proof. Let's move it up the website a little bit. Maybe put it between the bestsellers and the collections, or between the collections and the about us, because that social proof becomes really important with motivating people to buy. So now let's go take a look at the shop page. So first things first, again, this header, but you notice the header is really big, and then the products bar, it just looks off. And I understand that on the home page, the different sections, like that is a color, and that is a color in her brand. But right here, it feels weird. So I might actually change that to like the black bar with white or gold lettering to continue that luxury aesthetic, right? To remind me that that's what I'm going for. But I think part of the reason that that's so shocking is because this first group of products. So I'm excited, I'm ready to shop, and I open this up, and first thing I notice is there's not like a consistency across the photos. For me as a product business, consultant, when I look at this, I'm going, oh, these are older. These are earlier in her career photos. If you notice, the background on the first 4 photos are all different. And they don't have the same, there is a certain atmosphere and attitude, and the background is the same in all the other photos. So right off the bat, that feels weird to me. But the other thing is, if I'm coming to buy dog treats and I click on shop and now all of a sudden I'm looking at celebration cakes and a bundt cake, which to me, even though I know I'm on a dog website, my brain is like, wait, what? That's not dog treats, right? But then there's a sweatshirt. So I would not have this sort alphabetically. If I were Joe, what I would do, I would not remove any of these. I would redo some of these photos eventually, but short term, I would change it so that my default display is my best sellers. Because now look at this. When I click in, if I clicked in and this is how the shop page opened up, I would be drooling. I would be ready to add every single one to my cart. They all look amazing. They all look consistent. They all are styled the same with that high end, all natural ingredients. Like that is what you want. So my recommendation is for her to sort, her default display should be her best sellers like this, right? Sort it by best selling. But also because there's a reason they're your best sellers. People are coming to buy these from you for a reason. That is the most likely sale you are going to make. So let's make it as easy as possible. And so I want you to consider that on your website too. Can you display your most popular items up front so that people are more likely to buy them? We would love to get rid of some of our stuff that doesn't move as quickly, but the fact of the matter is our best sellers are our best sellers for a reason. So I would change her default display to be a bestseller, because then, you can scroll and, you get down to page 10. Now that is definitely an older photo, right? This is where those cakes come in. That cake is there, carob pumpkin brownies. Again, brownie might just be, that's maybe not a word for dogs, right? And then all the apparel and it sorts it in a way that people are actually going to be looking for it. The other thing is under product type, it's got all of these different dog treats, biscuits. I'm not thrilled with that kind of sorting. I would love to see maybe starting with categories and then the products. I only want to search for biscuits. I only want to search for whatever, but that's on the home page. So I wouldn't mess with it here. I would just make this sort your products by best selling. Now we go to her about page. Again, we're top of the fold. This is where you're going to lose people. That header that menu bar is so big that it takes up almost half of it. And then we've got this giant white space with dog ears, and I'm confused. I'm like, is there going to be a massive dog picture as I scroll? It doesn't show anything else. If we make that menu smaller, it brings that all more into view. And so it would look more like this, right? So we would open it up, we'd see the dog ears and the about us. This makes way more sense. Her about page is great. I love the photo of her dog. If I were her, I would maybe put a photo of me and my husband or me with my dog in here, just because they probably want to know the person behind the treats. But I also understand maybe not wanting to be the face of the brand, and this works. That's just my personal preference. Definitely go with whatever feels more comfortable for you. Talks about her goals down here, and then again, redirecting them to shop, because our goal is to get you to spend money on the website. So that's well done. We always want to redirect to shopping. Contact us, email address, contact form. Super easy, super great, love it. I also want to note when we go to shop, let's find a fun, let's go butternut squash. The images are really well done, right? We've got some really great photos here. I would also include a photo of the product in its packaging. So I know her bags, I know what they come in, and her bags are very high end, very elite, very luxury. I would get a photo of a product in the bag, and it doesn't even have to be that product. If you can change out the labels in the Canva edit or something, just to show what that actually looks like. And again, lead to the kind of luxurious feel. The only other thing, again, we have the net weight down here. If we can, I would put it up here under quantity, 1 8-ounce bag or something. Just again, people don't read, right? We want to make it as easier for them as possible to understand what they're buying. If I pay $14 and I'm thinking I'm getting 16 ounces and it shows up and it's 8, that's an unhappy customer. So we want to make it easy. So I would add the net weight somewhere up here where people are buying, because they're not going to scroll down if they've already decided, right? But other than that, I love it. It's fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about one thing with Joe's website and products that I think will also have a big impact, but doesn't necessarily have to do with e-commerce. So one thing I noticed on Joe's site is she has a very luxury brand, right? The black and gold, black and white, Very high-end photography, very really nice aesthetic. But then her product is $13.99. Now, the price point is probably fine. Like, that's not what I'm talking about here. But what I want to highlight is the way pricing works with levels of perceived value. So when we're looking at products of lower perceived value, if we're looking for a bargain, if we're looking for a discount, we look for things ending in 7, 8, 9, right? 1997, 1999. Those are all price anchors for affordability, value. You know, the Walmart, right? Walmart's prices all end in 9.8, 4.8, 5.8, things like that. Joe's products being priced at $13.99. She is branding as a luxury, but she is pricing as a value. And so my recommendation for Joe's products is that she makes them all round numbers. So instead of $13.99, it's $14. Instead of $15.99, it's $16. Because that round dollar amount, that goes along with perceived value and luxury, right? You go on to, let's say you go on to like Tiffany & Company website, right? Their prices are not like $14.99, you know, $1,499, right? It is $1,500. It is a round number. It is a luxury brand. They're not trying to trick you into thinking it's $1,400 when it's really $1,500. They are leveraging that luxury of their brand. And so my one recommendation for Joe with her pricing on her website is to make that a round number, $14, $16, whatever. Get rid of the $95, $99, whatever at the end. Sorry, my eyes are bothering me. So that is my big recommendation for her pricing strategy on her website. Now, that's not necessarily about website, e-commerce, SEO. That's more about pricing as it ties to branding. Now, I will say her website, she does a great job with the SEO. She does a great job with her layout. Anything I talked about here for changes, they're all fairly minor, and it's all designed to increase user experience and user conversion. So I would love to hear if you picked up any tips for your own website during this video, anything you're looking at changing or reevaluating on your Shopify site, let me know in the comments. Or if you would like a similar audit on your website, drop a comment below or click on the link with this video and let's talk about how we can audit your e-commerce site too to increase buyer conversion for your products as well.